this verse is because of a story that I heard this week. It's like one of those make-believe stories. You know the story of the tortoise and the hare who ran the race? Right? So it goes like this. They decide to run this race, right? So the referee standing at the starting line and fired the gun, so they ran. Now we know the story. Who won? The tortoise, right? So they decided to have a rematch because I think it was unfair. So when they did the rematch, the hare won. And the turtle said, look, you have to take this to court. Because by nature you're faster than me. It's an unfair match. So then they said what to do. They said, listen, let's have a rematch. And I will plan the route. So the turtle, he planned out the route. And within the route of the turtle, he put a link. So the race went off. And the hare was in front, and when he reached the link, he couldn't do anything. The turtle came, swung across, and he won. So the hare decided to take it to court. It was unfair. I'm not sure you ever had anything like this in your court case. So what happened was that big argument took place and everything, and the judge, he decided that he would plan out the right. So what he did was he brought two of them together and said, listen, this is how the race is going to be this time. By nature you're faster than water, he told the tortoise this, and by nature you're faster than land. So here what? When you run the race, before you start, turtle you jump on the back of the hare, and he'll take you on the land. And when you reach the pond, here you jump on the back of the turtle, and he'll help you across. And then both you over the race. End of story. So the devotee was giving this story. He was elaborating that on our own, we can manufacture so many processes for religion. On our own, we can manufacture so many things. And believe in it. And this is best for me. This is what I should do. And actually, when we take things on our own and plan our life, how we think it should be, sometimes it may not be the best thing. So Srila Prabhupada is like this judge. You see, the objective is spiritual life, especially when you come to Krishna consciousness. Smartavya Satatam Vishnu. Somehow the other, our life should be molded so that we can remember Vishnu or Krishna. And in reality, when you're out there, it's difficult to remember Krishna. There's so many obstacles, so many things happening outside. It's very, very difficult to remember Krishna, especially all the time. Therefore, but Srila Prabhupada, to help us to remember Krishna, it's a process called sadhana bhakti. There's real bhakti, real devotion, where one experiences spontaneous love for Krishna. Raganuga, spontaneous. When he comes before the deities, he experiences some feeling of like surrender and like says everything to him. But Raganuga Bhakti is not limited within itself. In the sense that when you go out there, the same feelings you feel from seeing deities, the same feelings you feel when you pick up the Bhagavad Gita, or when you see a devotee, or when you hear Harinam. It's the same feeling. everybody else thinks it's material, right?
I think differently.
Yeah. Actually, Achyutananda, when he came up with this, right, he said to the devotees, he said, if everything is spiritual, then you'd be afraid to walk on the ground, because you might hurt the ground. Or you might afraid to close the door, or you might hurt the door. If everything is spiritual, because spiritual means consciousness, then you'd be afraid to do these things. So Achyutananda Swami was like convincing in his arguments that it's not spiritual, it's material. So Harisari, when he went to Srila Prabhupada's room, because in his mind, he asked Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada said everything is spiritual. Everything in the material world is spiritual. But Srila Prabhupada said, in the material concept, it's in a dormant state. That's the difference. Dormant. It is spiritual. Everything is meant to serve Krishna. Everything. Srila Prabhupada even said stone has consciousness, but it's in a dormant state. In the material world. Now I was fascinated by this statement by Srila Prabhupada, which helped me to understand, yes, if everything is spiritual and everything is meant to be service of Krishna, this is why in the pure state of bhakti, it's not limited to the temple where you come. I mean, you look at the altar this morning, it is beautiful. The altar looks beautiful. And we'll keep that beauty in our mind all the way here. Maybe when we go home and then tomorrow it's back to the material atmosphere. And we forget. But to get to that spontaneous platform, one must be able to practice sadhana. Sadhana is devotion on the rules and regulations as given by the Acharya. This is Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. And therefore, to take us into Raganuga is a procedure. We know the procedure is Gopaswami. Adao Shradha Tapasana Sadhmutaha Bhajan Kriyanartha Nivriti Skep. We'll stop there. There's more. For Anartha Nivriti, we'll discuss this today. But I'll read a verse from the Bhagavad Gita. This is Krishna speaking to Arjuna. Evam buddhi param bhutva samstāvayatmanatmana jahishatur mahabhaho karupantarasayam. Translation of Prabhupada as Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila. Thus knowing oneself to be transcendental to the material senses, mind and intelligence, Almighty armed Arjuna, one should steady the mind by deliberate spiritual intelligence or Krishna consciousness. And thus, by spiritual strength, conquer this insat known as love. Purport. In the third chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, it is conclusively directed to Krishna consciousness by knowing oneself as an eternal servitor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, without considering impersonal voidness the ultimate end. In the material existence of life, one is certainly influenced by propensities for lust and desire for dominating the resources of material nature. Desire for overloading and for sense gratification is the greatest enemy of the conditioned soul. I'll repeat that again. A desire for loading and for sense gratification is the greatest enemy of the conditioned soul. By the strength of Krishna consciousness, one can control the material senses, the mind, and the intelligence. One may not give up work and prescribed duty all of a sudden. But by gradually developing Krishna consciousness, one can be situated in the transcendental position without being influenced by the material senses and the mind. by steadily intelligence directed towards one pure identity. This is the sum total of this chapter. In the immature stage of materialistic philosophy, speculation and artificial attempts to control the senses by the so-called practice of yogic postures can never help a man towards spiritual life. He must be trained in Krishna consciousness by higher intelligence. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 3rd chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of karma yoga, or the discharge of one's prescribed duty in Krishna consciousness. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Guru Prasad Swami Namani. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namani. Namaste Saraswati Deva Gauravani Pacharini Nirvishesha Shunyavare Paschatya Dishitarani. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Krishna consciousness has the ability to purify our hearts from the propensity to lord over material nature. Now, to lord over material nature simply means to somehow or the other use material nature for my pleasure. You know, Srila Prabhupada will often quote Ishwaraham, aham bhog. I meant out of conditioning, I am Ishwar, the controller. Aham bhoga. Everything is for my pleasure, happiness. This is the condition, the mentality. And these are just what it says. Anartha is unted habits that we have somehow or the other developed or come with from previous lives. Anarthas could be a very dangerous thing on the path of devotion. Who can tell me like some things, an example of anarthas? Pride, isn't it? Pride. Do you think Krishna is satisfied with pride? No. Envy is another one. But if greed. But if we were to analyze or look at ourselves, you don't have to blabber it out here, but if we were to actually do some introspection, we would actually find that we have some anarthas that is there. Isn't it? If I were to ask who's free from anarthas, hardly anybody is free from anarthas. Now, anarthas are 4 types of anarthas. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because if we understand what anarthas, where they come from, etc., there's a possibility that we can work through association, we can actually work in getting rid of anarthas. When anarthas is gone, or is driven from our consciousness, just like when Krishna came, the killing of the demons represents, although it's a fact that Krishna came and he killed Bakasura and all these demons, but the demons, they represent anarthas. Harivol. Jai. They represent anarthas. Just like the famous pastime of Kaliya. We know the Kaliya pastime. And Kaliya represents, I'll tell you what Kaliya represents. Kaliya represents brutal cruelty, maliciousness, pride, envy, and a snake crookedness. And you know the story, right? Kaliya, he took residence in the Jamuna, and Krishna and his friends, when they would go out and tend the cows and take care of the cows nicely, and they would play, and when they're thirsty, they would go and drink water from the Jamuna. And Kaliya was there living. And Kalia, because he was thinking that this is mine to enjoy, my territory. Same thing. A desire to lord over and control. It's said that Kalia emitted poison and poisoned the lake. This poison was so powerful that the trees and the creepers that were growing on the banks of the lake dried up. And if a bird happened to pass by, flying in the air, he'll fall dead. Such as the poison of Kalia. And because that poison was so powerful, it showed the enviousness of Kalia. It's dangerous. Dangerous on earth to have envy. Versus if we envy the Vaishnavas, or envy the Lord, which we are in one sense, envious of Krishna. Krishna is the enjoyer. Who could enjoy like Krishna? Understand? So therefore, when Krishna's friends, they went to drink water because they were thirsty. They fell sick. They died from drinking the water of the Jamuna. And there was alarming, and we know Krishna, he saw what was going on, and some friends were crying, and there was so much disturbance. But Krishna understood what was going on. So Krishna, we know the story, he jumped on a kandama tree, his belt, went into the Jamuna. And it explained that when he was swimming, it was making like a tumultuous sound, like thunder, that Kalia got disturbed. What is going on? So then he saw, Krishna was coming. He said for hours, Kali grabbed onto Krishna. It was like squeezing Krishna. And Krishna's friends, they were alarmed. And some of them ran back to tell the villagers what was going on. And when Mother Yashoda understood, she came out running because it's her son. And she was so worried. And when she came, she fainted, knowing that Krishna is there. And Krishna, he was just for 2 hours really, he was just playing with Kalia. Okay, Kalia, you're strong. You're the chief. Alright, do whatever you want with me. And Krishna allowed him. He was wrestling for 2 hours. And Kalia was thinking, I'll defeat Krishna. Thinking like this. Who could defeat Krishna, Baba? He was thinking, and Kalia was feeling some pride knowing that he had the Supreme Personality of God in Krishna, because Ariyami, he knows what in the heart. Oh, she would get up, after she would get up, Krishna said, faint again. It's was so much to actually Mother Yashoda awake because she's working now. That Krishna, he decided, okay, it's about time. Everybody has assembled. And you know what Krishna wanted to do? He wanted to dance. So Krishna, he started dancing. And when they were seeing Krishna dancing, they were amazed that, what is he doing? Dancing on the hoods of Kalia. They said the dancing was like, the dancing on the head of Kalia formed the tabla beats. He was dancing. And sometimes you see those tabla players, they'll beat really fast. So could you imagine Krishna's tiny little feet and he's dancing on Kalia's hoods? The speed of the tabla. And everybody was amazed. And Krishna, he was trying to impress the gopis. He was trying to impress everybody. That he can dance. Of course, we know in Leela, Krishna to dance. Who? Who taught Krishna to dance? Who? Actually, Radharani. Remember that pastime? I'm giving you plenty pastime today. When Krishna challenged the peacocks, remember? You story Radharani. Yeah. But anyways, I won't go too much in that. But confirmed by Sridham that
Oh, Krishna, you think you're the best dancer? You wouldn't tell that is my who taught you how to dance? Srimati Radharani. Krishna was like, whoa, don't mention that. Radha. But Krishna was dancing. And Kaliya, even though Kaliya was experiencing the lotus feet of Krishna, something that devotees, they long for, the feet of Krishna, because of Kaliya's enviousness to the residents of Vrindavan, because of his pride, he couldn't appreciate the lotus feet of Krishna, Baba. He's trying to grab onto Krishna's feet. Not that, oh Krishna, please save me. No. He was intent on destroying Krishna. That is the difference. When a devotee holds on to the feet of Krishna, it's because he wants the shelter of Krishna. He wants to be protected by Krishna. Krishna's feet is the shelter of all conditioned souls and all pure devotees, but conditioned souls, therefore they wouldn't want to take shelter. Instead, they want to destroy Krishna. So we know the story that when the wives of Kaliya saw what was going on, they started to prayers. Now as I in my book, Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Krishna dancing with hearing the prayers of the Nagpatnis, the wives of Kaliya. It touched his heart. And that Krishna said, even though Kaliya is this envious, still, by the mercy of these devotees, the wives of Kaliya, the Kaliya became purified. Because on our own, to get rid of these anarthas, the anarthas like pride and envy and so forth, it's a difficult thing. Even if we come in this circle of Vaishnavas, because Kaliya was living in Vrindavan, Baba. He was living in the Jamuna, Baba. But because he wasn't qualified in the sense that he was envious. He had too much pride. So therefore Krishna had to make an example of Kaliya. But again, when the wives, they offered prayers and they begged Krishna on behalf of Kaliya, that, because of his envy, he cannot see. That's the thing. Because of his envy, there's a statement in Srimad Bhagavatam that said, if it's a statement Lord Shiva's, but there's a prayer that said, my dear Lord, because our consciousness is towards material sense creation, difficult to you who are hard. The intent of our vision. And it's true. The more we desire to enjoy this world, the more we desire material comfort and so forth, you can't see the Lord who's within your heart. He's right there. Krishna is within your heart. And we can't experience him because our desires, our vision is external. So we have to get rid of these anarthas. Anarthas is not something, as a practice in Vaishnav, we should keep. Now there are 4 types of anarthas. So anarthas, 1, anarthas from previous sins or attractions to sinful activities. That's 1. 2, from previous piety or attraction to sattvic sense gratification. I'll elaborate more on these things afterwards. 3, anarthas from committing mistakes in devotional service, and anarthas from offenses. 4 types of anarthas. Let us discuss the first one. Anartha from previous sin, attractions to sinful activities. I think really that needs any explanation. But in my own little life, I remember one time the And Brihat Mardan Prabhu, Triple B Maharaj now, I had asked him, and I said, Brihat Mardan Prabhu, I want to be a nice devotee, a good devotee. Tell me how to become a good devotee. I was asking him like this, my own neophyte, days. I'm still neophyte. And I said to him, look, I don't want to get married. I want to, put on saffron, be a brahmachari, and from brahmachari, take sannyas, the ideal. I want to do all these things. I'm fired up. I've gotten a taste for, Krishna gave me a little taste for chanting, and I came in, saw the devotees, saw the Lord, and I was like, this is home. So now I want to be pure devotee. So when I heard brahmachari, and if you get into grihastha life, you under kupam, you're in a dark well, Baba. Don't get into grihastha life. Best thing is to take sannyas. Alright. So I chalk it out, brahmachari for so much and so much like years, and then I'll go into sannyas. So I approached, asked him, I said, okay, I want to get to point A, which is I want to be a brahmachari and I want to get to the final sannyas. So he laughed, right? It was like, this is something he told me. Why is it that everything everyone like you? I was like, Krishna. Okay. So I had to be that one. And I said, how about if I can be a brahmachari then? So he said, how long you want to brahmachari for? Well, as long as possible. So he said, let me ask you something. Before coming to Krishna consciousness, what were your desires? Well, I had planned it out. Well, I would get married at this age, and then a car and a job and everything. Children, I was full 9 years, right? And he said to me, if you had taken a vow to enjoy material life before coming to Krishna consciousness, you planned everything. It meant that throughout your life, you were molding your mind and consciousness into living in a certain way. He said, I'll tell you something. If you go more than 1 year as a brahmachari, you'll make a mess of your life. So he said, when you take a vrat, a vow, it's difficult for you to stay steady or fixed in devotion. Throughout your life, in devotion, you will start compromising. You'll start to compromise. It's too difficult, so better do this. Sometimes we may think, like long ago, like we didn't really have taxis coming in, so we had to walk from out the road. And the road wasn't good, rain or sun, we would walk and come in. And, I remember those days, you walk in the hot sun just to come because you want to be in the temple. And then, after a while, you find, go today way. I'll go tomorrow. Almost every day you want to come, every other day, and then all of a sudden you start skipping out. And you start missing. And you have valid reasons for doing it. Sun too hot, no taxi. So many reasons we can make. And then because we were addicted to certain type of living, it will also be difficult. It will pose an impediment if we maintain simple activities from long ago. Even sometimes when we think of it, because we were addicted to eating in a certain way. And sometimes when you find yourself in an environment where there is meat or something, you immediately remember how it used to taste like. It's amazing. And if we don't get strength, we go back into this nonsense. We go back into our conditional life if we don't check. So there's a narrative that coming from previous sinful activities. We've committed so many sins before coming to Krishna consciousness. And sometimes it's difficult, really, really difficult. But association can actually help us. There's also a narrative coming from previous piety. There's an example given here. The example given is, one wants to live in the country, on the farm. as opposed to a temple or city, where you would hear that, that the countryside, it's nice, it's sattvic, it's the mood of goodness. Sometimes like when we Madhuban farm, it's peaceful, it's nice. You would think, I can live there. Because Krishna conscious philosophy, our Krishna conscious mood set by Srila Prabhu's chariot, where we are preachers. We are persons who are supposed to be not concerned so much of our own spiritual life, but we're supposed to help preach, go out boldly. Like when we went down to the savannah on Wednesday, we was doing the Harinam, and David Juju told me, he said, go and give this lady this pamphlet. So I went up to the lady and I gave her, and she said, I never know all living in Trinidad. I never know this. This is the first time I seen all in Trinidad. I only hear about all and seen it in America and thing, but in Trinidad all exists. Where all it was all these years? I said we were around. And another gentleman came and said, boy, I thought all it dead. Say, Haribol, where all it was all these years? Boy, he said, I can remember down in the heart of Port of Spain, every time I would see earlier, I was wondering, what went on? And man knew, Harry Dave and all these devotees, and he was like, thank God I could come back and do something to them people in Trinidad, not Port of Spain, Trinidad, But from piety, we may be, piety, like Pinkunti says, John Maheshwara Shrita Shribir, 4 things good comes attached to his good birth. You're living comfortably, etc. And even with the good birth, one thing, well then, nice. I can practice consciousness. What is it? Bring. Why should I practice good birth? Wealth and opulence. One thing is, when we have these things, just like Lord just said, it's like a jewel on the head of a serpent. It's dangerous to have these things. Beauty, knowledge, and so forth. Very dangerous. And what also unnerves us from committing mistakes in the realm of devotional service. Now, devotional service, prior to coming to Krishna consciousness, no, I don't think any one of us really and truly knew what devotion was about. Isn't it? You all knew, before coming to Krishna consciousness, did we know what devotion to God was really about, what it really entails? No. We were satisfied with, maybe going to a Ramayana for Parsad and, or we were satisfied fasting a couple of days for Diwali and doing 2 prayers or 3 prayers and that's it. Devotion done for the year. Isn't it? But here, coming to Krishna consciousness, we realize this is not a part-time thing. Devotion to God is not part-time, Baba. No, it's not. Working outside material and taking care of the body, that's part-time. Our real job is to be Krishna conscious. Our real duty is to be conscious of Krishna. That is our real duty. And coming to Krishna consciousness is now learning what is sadhana bhakti, what is rules and regulations. It's like discussing, like sometimes I was telling you that when we go down to offer respects to these point to Vaishnav etiquette and so one shouldn't offer respect with one hand, should offer another, and sitting down before the deity, one shouldn't hold his knees like this. One shouldn't talk, prajalpa before the deities. So much rules and regulations are there. Just to get us to the point of coming to practice the sadhana and going to the raganuga. Spontaneous devotion. But if we don't get these things right, we commit some offense. Subtle. Very minute. Maybe we didn't know that to hold your knee before, the deities is bad and so forth. There's so many rules and regulations. But on the part, because we don't know, we may fall. Just like a child. When a child is learning to walk, he will fall. The child could fall on and cry and just decide, I ain't going to walk for the rest of my life. Or the child could just simply say, let me try one more time again. And we can see a little child who doesn't have so much developed intellect, and he keeps trying when he falls down. So on the path of devotion, because we are now practicing, even if we commit some mistake, we should learn to get up and continue. Because we may commit a mistake, and because of the mistakes on our utters, unwanted things, we become disturbed and we create so many negative vibrations, and it's lost. And another example given here of making mistakes in devotional service, becoming puffed up due to success in Sankirtan. I distribute more books than everybody else. I can sing better than everybody else. And cook good. Or accepting money, admire, etc. These things, is things that we can actually make mistakes with. That we start off intentionally to go and distribute books nicely. We go and distribute books and we realize we distribute more books than everybody else. And when you think like that, that is a subtle anartha. Pride is developing there. And you come and think, well, fellas know what books play. I could distribute more books than anybody. I'm the best. And we think we are the best. And the pride comes in. And the final one is anarthas from offenses, from the 10 offenses. It is said the 10 offenses can devastate one's spiritual life. And when in the morning there are 10 offenses to the holy name. First one is to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives in propagating the holy names of the Lord. And that's something that's very truly because we associate with one another. Because consciousness of the temple is designed where come together you would find variety, different personality, etc. It is easy to find fault. Easy. The easiest thing to do. Fault. Who was in the I think it was Shantagraha giving the little story about in one Bhakta training class they had asked to label 10 good qualities of the person next to you and 10 bad or something like that. And in the 10 good, there was like 1 or 2, and the 10 bad, it was like 10 full bad qualities. It's like 1 or 2 good ones. Because it's easy to see fault. The reason why it's easy to see fault is because we are conditioned. In conditioned life, we go back to the same thing. It's like coming back to the same thing, to the beginning. Conditioned life means I am the enjoyer, not you, Baba. No. You are meant for my enjoyment. Prabhu, bring some prasad for me, please. Serve me. You understand? Give me this. Prabhu. You're calling him master, but you want him to serve. Prabhu. You understand the science? It's subtle. Lord Chaitanya Prabhu said, Jiveda Swarupa Krishna Dasa, that my real person is that I am a servant. I'm not master. We should be eager to serve. Serve the devotees. So please, we want to sit on our own and try to analyze the anarthas within. Once we have these anarthas, we identify them, then we can work eradicating anarthas. When an artist is eradicated from the heart, then you have what you call nishta, or steadiness. Then one can be steady in his devotional practice. When we find that we are doing some chanting, we're chanting 16 rounds today, 16 tomorrow, and then next day 12, and it goes down. We're not steady. Why are we not steady? It's because we have some anarthas there. It's preventing me. It's preventing me. You know? No, instead of chanting rounds, we want to go on, prajalpa, we want to watch TV, do this. These are unwanted things in the path of devotion. So I know I don't have time because here the pujari is ready. So you can read Srila Prabhupada's books. When you read Srila Prabhupada's books, you'll find everything you need. Jagaguru Prabhupada. I forget.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste Saraswate Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavare Vastutyare Shratharine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Vastutyare Shratharine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Bhakta-vrinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Krishna Hare Hare Radhe Rama
जाके चारियों स्तोत्र सजविष्ट भोग तिरन स्वस्वमय महाराज की गोते वैष्णववृंद की नाम है ठाकुर की इसका फाउंडर श्री प्रभुपाद की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंद गिरि गोवर्धन की वृंदावन धाम की मथुरा धाम की नवद्वीप धाम की जगतपुरी धाम की गंगा माई की यमुना माई की तुलसी देवी की भक्ति देवी की ब्रह्म रंग की श्री श्री गणिताय की Shri Shri Radha Gopinath ki, Gopta Prabhu. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories of Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Namaste Narasimhaya.
प्रहलाद Hare